Hello, hello. Welcome once again. Another edition of Quoth the Raven with Sprite Raven. I'm your host, Sprite Raven, 33-year veteran, creator, editor, publisher of comics, science fiction, fantasy, horror, role-playing games. And with me, as always, or usually, anyway, it's the Big Popper today.
Hello. You know what I like.
Yes, we do. Should we start with the unboxing first and then get into the stuff, or wait?
I think we should start with the unboxing.
Okay. What did I get this week? Well, let's see. Got some interesting. Does that look like?
Ooh, nice. Very cool. Second issue?
Yes, this is the second issue of Metal Hurlant. Humanoids Publishing.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Metal Hurlant was the precursor and the inspiration for Heavy Metal magazine.
Yes, this is the second one. I love the title. You're made of star stuff? Well, so is this anthology. Big deal.
That's awesome.
Space stares back.
So if you're a fan of European comics and art, this is the place to find it.
Oh, yeah. We got Afi Khalid, Amy Dijon Alatis, Ariel Kropp, Benjamin Fogel, Bronco Jelinek, Damian Cavalier, Daria Schmidt, Elgo, Eli Nuant, Inky Bilal, Baby Rolau, Jean-Claude Mezieres, Jean-Pierre Dionnet, Jenny Friesen, Jorg DeVos, Carl Johnson, Mark Wade. They had to ruin it with Mark Wade in there, didn't they?
Right? Wade.
Mobius. They should call him Mark Weed. Anyway, he pops up everywhere like a weed. Anyway,
right.
Sergei Clark, Virginia Augustine, Yang Whalen, Zach Delupi, and Zoeme. Yeah, Zoeme. Pardon me. So there's a whole bunch of people in here. Do you remember, Chris, if I actually reviewed the first issue or not yet?
We did not review it. We went through it on your unboxing.
We did not review it. So, in other words, next week I should be reviewing this one and number one.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Wanted to make sure. I thought that's what happened, but we review and unbox so much stuff on the show that I can't remember anymore.
Right.
So that was what we got in the mail today, which is always a good thing. Get something cool in the mail. Did you get anything cool in the mail?
I did not yet.
Okay. Bummer. He's waiting on me to send him something.
I'm assuming I'm getting something cool in the mail. So.
No, I haven't sent it yet, but.
Oh, okay. All right.
You will get something eventually, but I've got so much other stuff I'm doing that I just haven't had a chance to package it, send it. But yeah, it's been a weird week so far. Between finding out some interesting things about who does and doesn't watch the channel, what some people think about the channel, which was interesting to learn. I guess you could say I heard some validation for being here anyway.
That's good. Validation is always good.
But it was interesting to hear some of the commentary because I understand where they're coming from. Some of the things they don't like that I do. But they also understand why I do it, and it's not that they don't agree with what I'm saying. They just think, man, that's sticking it to the man. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. But that's kind of who I am, right?
Right. That is you. You love to stick it.
Yeah. So anyway,
but the big question is, do they love me?
They didn't say.
Oh, damn it. All right. Well, you know.
Yeah. Well, I
Can't
think
blame the guy for trying.
right. I'll ask them the next time I talk to them. What do you guys think of this?
What do you think of my co-hosts?
Yeah. Are my co-hosts insane, or is it just me? I don't know. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got 10 campaigns to talk about, all from Kickstarter. So let's go ahead and have some fun, I guess you could say. It's going to be quite a lot of work.
Oh, so is that all you got in the mail? Was the Metal Hurlant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Our first book is The Last Abraxan, which we have talked about before. It's a 1970s style science fiction comic book. They have 34 hours to go. They're past their 5,000 goals, so you know it's going to be produced. It's got it's printed on newsprint. It's got half tones. It's the old school 70s style production.
I love that they announced that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, it is done like, how do we put this? I mean, yeah, old school comics is as good a way as putting it, I guess you could say. But to me, it's like real comics, right?
Well, yeah, it's the comics. It's the comics we grew up with. So, yeah. I love that they're actually doing it, and I love that they're bold and going, "Hey, this is what we're doing."
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love that they're already they've made their goals. So that's fantastic.
So anyway, this is by Mike Ortiz. You get a PDF copy for $5. Mm-hmm. The physical is $10, which you get both physical and digital copies, archive PDF, poster, and stickers. So you're getting quite a little bit of stuff for your $10 plus shipping.
How many pages are in that? Is that a standard?
We haven't got that far yet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Let's see. It's newsprint, thought novels, classic.
Oh, I love that they do that. Love that.
What's that?
The character page there.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is fantastic.
And it's so 70s. But yeah, it's not really 70s. It is 70s, but it's also early 80s.
Yep.
It's right before the beginning of what would eventually lead to Image came along.
Right. This is where people were still painting out color guides, just old school stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it's gorgeous stuff. The art looks really good. You got cute ads. You got the old
mimic Marvel. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, not just mimic Marvel, but it's Groot instead of Grit.
Yeah.
It's
the muscle magazine. Yeah, are you a wimp on the beach? Are you tired of getting sand kicked in your face?
The classic classified shop by mail that's in there. Now, whether or not any of that stuff is actually real or it's just all just jokes, who knows? But
I'm thinking it's a gimmick, but
yeah, it's all gags, right? But yeah, this is cool. You get stickers, and these stickers even look 70s.
Yeah.
Really
I'm smiling ear to ear here. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool.
This is what more companies need to be putting out.
You get a 4-page promo fold-out poster on one side with the handbook-style entries on the other side. And you can get 4 different variant covers, which is one that looks like the Star Wars #1 cover.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of looks like, I'm trying to think, sort of a cross between Monarch Star Killer, I think his name of the character was.
Right. I recognized like the faded faces in the background. That looks familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's also got that stuff from Jim Starlin, Dreadstar.
Oh yeah. You're right.
And then this Margood comic strip right here. This is a color misprint. Like what would happen if they had the colors reversed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I love that.
Yeah. So you
Hey, David.
That. Yep. Sweet. Yeah. So I mean, there's some really cool stuff here. And then you see the archive type stuff for the process. If you get the archive PDF at the physical order, you get a 250-page book in PDF that details the entire creation of the comic. Walks you through inspirations, plots, layouts, everything. So that's pretty cool.
Very nice.
And yes, we definitely know that Starlin is an influence because the Zizigi stone, well, Zizigi is the wizard from Dreadstar.
Yes.
So we now know where that came from. But that's cool. You know, lots of cool, interesting things.
Yeah, if you're going to give an ode to someone, you know, hey, why not Jim Starlin?
Yeah. So there's a lot of different variants here. I'm trying to see what the actual story pages are, though. Let me go back to the top here.
Is it on the right, maybe?
It doesn't say so far. You know, I can. Let me open a detail to a different book here. Rewards. It just says physical copy, physical and digital copies, archive, PDF, and sticker and posters.
All right. Well, if you guys hear this, you need to put the page count.
Yeah. Oh, we might have missed it. I'm looking for it. Nope, I don't see it. But it's got to be at least what the classic 70s were, which would probably be about 20 to 22 pages on a 32-page comic.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I would say. You know,
yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
And an estimated delivering of October, that's pretty quick. You know, turnaround.
I'm assuming this is probably already done.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do a Kickstarter or any kind of crowdfunding, that's the way to go. You get the book done, completely done, before you Kickstart it.
Yes.
Yep.
So is this something that you would you'd back?
Oh hell yeah, 100%.
Okay, I was making sure.
That's the coolest book and campaign I've seen in a long time. So.
Okay. Cool.
I love throwback retro stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's only 34 hours left to go, so yeah, make sure you get on that. Alrighty. Let's see what our next one is. Let's since David's here, let's start with this one.
Yeah. Speaking of throwback,
this is Legends of the Stargazers, graphic novel by David Campiti, with Matt Thompson, Randy Elliott, Thomas Sheets, Yester Redondo, and more. It pledged at $2,000 goal. It's well over that now at $6,340. And it was fulfilled in the first day, and rightfully so. This is a classic series from the, I want to say the mid to late 80s is when this originally came out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, this is from like the Innovation days, I think.
Yes. Either Innovation or right before Innovation. Let's see. Oh, yeah, 2 points at the end there, but let me see if I can play and stop it. There we go. This is, of course, co-written with David by Cynthia J. Wood and illustrated by Matt Thompson, Randy Elliott, and Mr. Redondo and others throughout the total series. This is a new cover, right? By Thompson and
Yes,
Elliott?
it is. Yep. The colors were done by CC De La Cruz.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they were. Just really sharp.
Yeah, we have a lot of updated art, but the inside, while it is kind of restored, but it is still that classic, 60s, 70s look.
Mm-hmm. Well, the classic stuff that those guys did in the early to mid 80s, yeah.
Right.
And I would say those guys were just doing good girl art for that era.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when I say good girl art, I'm not talking about there's risque and then there's tasteful. And
right.
And this book tended to be right on the line, if I remember it.
Yes, and that's where David likes it. Right on the line.
But this came out. I was like 14 or 15, I think, when it came out, and so it was like you had to kind of sneak it past the parents a little bit,
right?
But I remember being just reasonably. Wholesome isn't the right word, but it's PG-13, I guess.
It's definitely PG-13.
Maybe a little hardcore PG-13, but
so see, back in our day though, PG, like you could show boobs with PG. So the ratings are a little, different nowadays.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But we it's still a good thing, and we go and you look back at this stuff and it just looks nice, well illustrated. And of course, this scene right here is like an homage to the classic from Dave Stevens.
Yep. Yeah, and this you can get this in a really nice hardcover, and I mean really nice. The pages they're like a semi-gloss.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. How many pages is this book? About 160 to 200.
I'm not sure how many pages it is.
Because if
Dave's listening in the comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because there was like 5 or 6 issues, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then I figured there's probably some additional stuff. Because again, I assume this is including the Vanguard. And see there, that's where it was. That's what I was thinking. Vanguard.
It's one 200-page graphic novel.
Yeah, 192 pages plus. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is certainly worth it. You're getting a digital edition for $15 if you want to do who don't want to pay the shipping costs or prefer reading your comics digitally, and some people do. The poster print without the logo is $20. Very nice done. The remake of
inspired by Dave Stevens, yeah.
Yeah, and that's by Mel Joy San Juan and CC De La Cruz. Fabio Lanzini and CC De La Cruz as well. So you got all the different variant covers that you can get. You get the metal lunchbox.
Like, how cool is that it comes in a lunchbox?
Yeah, you can get yeah. Well, I mean, this is just, this is becoming a thing for collectibles. It's just, fine stuff,
Right.
And and good notice. He says there's no thermos, and that's because the people who make those things tend to either not make them with the thermos these days, or the thermos costs like an extra $10 or something. It's
right. Right.
It's
yeah, I remember putting the pictures on the lunchbox. I'm like, wait, you're gonna put this in a lunchbox? He's like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. $35 for a hardcover. Perfectly good reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
37 for cover B, 37 or 40 for cover C. Okay. Well, I'm a little confused as to why they're a little more expensive for the variant covers, but that's okay.
Well, go back up. I think it may say.
It's pretty much just saying
it's got a dust jacket. It's got a dust jacket on it. Did they all?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know, they did. Okay, hardcover. Oh, okay. No, this is a library binding. Hardcover print is printed on the cover itself, whereas where the other ones are,
they have a dust jacket.
They have a dust jacket. So okay, that does explain it. All right.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
And this is just gorgeous artwork.
Yes. There's Matt Thompson. I mean, Prince Valiant Art's Thomas Yeats. I mean,
Oh, the C is more limited as well. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, there's
autographed. Yeah, very, very cool.
Your 6-pack for retailers only. You get 3 of B and 3 of C at half off, more than half off, plus your digital download. That's fine. All 3 sets, all 3 books, plus the wallpapers again. Can you hear the monster crying?
I can. Poor boy.
I don't know what his problem is tonight, but yeah, lots of cool stuff here. I'm really digging it. For some reason, I was thinking Adam Hughes did some stuff with this, though.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking that.
For those of you that are into anime.
Yeah.
The tentacle cover.
Yes. I'm just digging all this stuff, though.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah. There's a close-up of the metal lunchbox.
Oh, he did covers to the Innovation series, David says.
Okay.
Adam did.
Right, gotcha. Right. All right. Yep, okay. Yep.
Probably back before he was $1 million a page.
Oh, my goodness. But yeah, this is definitely something that I need to get a version. I just don't know which one I'm going to pick yet because those covers are gorgeous and I got so much stuff I got to buy. I got to restrict myself.
Right.
I got to restrain myself.
David says they didn't have the rights to reprint those covers, so that's why they did not.
Ah, okay, that's a bummer. But that's life, and
It is.
yeah.
But even without Adam Hughes, this is still it's a
Oh yeah,
must. It's a must back. So
yeah, it's a must. It's a must have. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to figure out what I'm getting those two because both of those books I got to get. But let's. And then I
yeah,
got another one.
David showed me the hardcover, and it's really nice.
Yeah, I know what it's going to be, quality wise. I remember the series fondly. Like I said, it was very interesting because between this and David working with David Lawrence and Ron Lim on X Mutants for was it Pied Piper, and then they took it from Pied Piper to Eternity or Malibu type, whichever one they were with in that collective. It was like I was always getting those type of books, and my mom was like, "Where does he get these next?"
Well, if there's stuff out there like that, a 15-year-old boy will find it.
Yes. I'm like, my dad was like, "Yeah, but they're just drawings. At least he's not stealing Playboys."
Right?
Or something. It's like, yeah, it's like, and he's, so I think my dad was like okay with it. So,
Yes. Let the boy be, Mom.
yeah, yeah, yes. Teenagers will be teenagers.
Yes, they will.
Anyway, okay, little one, come on, come on, come on up. He's like, I want to be. Didn't you hear me calling? Oh, you silly monster. Okay, let's go on to the next one because we got lots.
And next on our list is the Midnight Monster. For just 15 cents a day, you can fund.
Yes, for 15 cents a day, you can fund this little Munchkin's vet bills every week. You're expensive lately. Anyway, another one that I've just got to have is Runners, Volume 3 graphic novel. The National Cartoonist.
Oh, and it just went up.
Yep. The National Cartoonist Society nominated science fiction adventure returns with its supersized 224-page third trade paperback volume. $6,199 out of its $8,000 goal. And 29 days to go. 138 backers. By the way, all of the links to all of these campaigns are listed in the description of this video, so you can go check them out there. I didn't have time to post and do for putting them on the screen tonight. I apologize for that. But it should be this, and I'm a big fan of this series. I've been a fan of Runners since Sean started doing it, and I want to say it came out 2 months before Firefly did.
Oh, okay.
And if you read the first series, there's a almost direct correlation in the storyline to Firefly, and people thought he was swiping Firefly, even though it came out before Firefly did.
As people are going to do when a certain series is more popular than another. So,
right. And it was like, yeah, I got into this, and I was just like, yeah, I have to go into that. The fact that there are Silver Ribbon Divisional Award for an online comic is great. Again, influenced by Star Wars, Firefly, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Likeable, almost all alien characters, comedic banter, dramatic stakes, cinematic action scenes, all stuff of it there. And it's just like he says, first and foremost, a fun read. And each volume is a complete standalone story. So you get a new smuggling job and complete story each volume of the series. And I've already got Bad Goods and The Big Snow Job, which are the first two. And then this is the new one, The Defects of Character. So I wish that we could blow these artwork up.
Oh, you can't click on it, eh?
It won't blow them up.
Well, it's still fantastic artwork.
Yeah. I mean, Sean is kind of short shrifting himself a little bit on this. He should show these a little bit bigger and show people who aren't familiar with this stuff just how great he really is. He's one of the most underrated and underappreciated comic artists, I think, in the market right now. Let's see what he wants. $10 for digital for 200 plus pages, which is more than the first two books, which were only around 125 each. So you're getting a longer story. The volume 3 paperbacks, 25, sounds reasonable to me. You can get all 3 volumes digital for 30, which is a great deal, because you're getting like 500 pages for $30 plus. You can get a hardcover edition for 30 for number 3. You can get all the volumes in paperback for 65. Again, great deal. Or $80 for hardcover. If I didn't already have first 2 in softcover, I would probably buy all 3 in hardcover,
You're probably gonna buy all 3 in hardcover because you like to have the hardcovers.
That's true. I do like having the hardcovers. I don't know. What would I do with the softcover? Oh, geez. I don't know.
Donate them to the library?
Probably, yeah. I do that all too often. But, yeah, I mean, just a wonderful series that I'm, can't wait to see what this is all about. And the thing is, if you really want to read on this, you can go to runnersuniverse.com and read the story online to get a gist of what it is before you make a purchase on this one, which is something that you can't do for many of the Kickstarters. So there's awesomeness there. So I would recommend doing that if you're unsure based on what you saw there. But I'm definitely going to get so we're 3 for 3. I'm getting all 3 of these on some level.
Yeah, you picked some great books.
Let's see what craziness we got otherwise. Whoa, what is this? This is text. The author of Collection of Volume 1. It is a box set of 6 graphic novels, oversized, 11 by 14, I believe, with artists like some of the best of the European artist scene, period.
Right. It's got Serpieri. Oh, wow. Yeah, like that's a sell for me right there. So
yeah. For those who don't know what text is, it's one of the best Western comics in the world. Like, Western cowboys type thing. This is a masterwork edition format in a beautiful slipcase. You've got Paolo Serpieri, like he says. If you know who that is, he's the guy who did Druna, but that's what he's most best known for. But he also has drawn a lot of Western comics in the past over in Spain. But this is his first ever text story. So that's really cool. And he was allowed to write, draw, and color the comic.
And the the texture. If you're not familiar with his artwork, the texture that he puts in his figures it's just mind blowing.
Yes, and of course, then we got the Argentinian legend Enrique Breccia and his father Alberto Breccia as well. This is doing the first time in color with the main text writer Mauro Baselli. If you don't know who Mauro Baselli is, one of the biggest Italian writing people for comics. So awesome stuff. R.M. Guerra, who you may know for doing Scalped, Django, Unchained, and The Goddamned in the U.S. for those 3 graphic novels. This is his only work on text to date. Written by Pascal Ruhu, Alfonso Font, Mario Alberti. This has got Chuck Dixon, so if you're anti whatever, you don't like Dixon, then maybe this isn't for you. But I tend not to reflect too much on that, because am I going to throw away everybody else's awesome work because I like Chuck the person. Sometimes I think he got a little overused and had too many books out at once, and I got a little tired of him having everything out at the same time.
Right.
And then when he stopped having that, he got a little bit mouthy. But that was a problem in the 90s and 2000s. There was a lot of people who, it wasn't that they didn't deserve the work that they got. It was that there were other people who were equally qualified who probably should have been given more consideration. And, had there been more equality, and when I say equality, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not talking about filling a black quota or a woman quota or a queer quota or this quota or that quota. I'm just talking about people who are genuinely top-level writers who could fit the bill to suit the needs of the book. And there was a lot of people who were overlooked in the 90s and 2000s when Chuck was in his prime years, and when certain other writers and artists were in their prime years. And again, that's not to say that those writers and artists didn't deserve the accolades and work that they received. It's just, I guess, in my mind as an editor and talent scout, in fairness of equity, I think that sometimes they got a little bit too much. And then when that got taken away from them, because everybody has this kind of highs and lows in the business anyway.
Right.
But when you get people burned out on you a little bit, and editors decide, well, you're past your prime, then that's not fair either. And I think that's a part of what the Comicsgate mess is. But moving on. Sergio.
So basically, you don't want to throw away your prime rib because a fly landed on it.
Yeah, right, exactly. 9x12 hardcover. There's only going to be 600 copies. Each book is 60 pages each. Heavy 150-pound, 157 grams. That's let's see, what is that? I think that's like 75 to 80-pound stock, if I'm not mistaken. I could be.
Yeah, those are some thick pages.
Yeah, they're good number pages. Each slipcase is individually numbered from out of one of every 600. So you get whatever you order is probably what your order come in is what you're going to get. The slipcase features embossing and spot UV, so you can assume that the logo and the figure are going to be spot gloss.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it should be just some beautiful stuff. Look at that. That just looks amazing. Mm-hmm. And then you can see it in juxtaposition to an actual person.
Yeah, look how big that thing is, man. You could you could knock someone out with that thing.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Now here's Serpieri's art.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving this. So you guys can see that, this is, the lovely cross hatching styles, the wonderful way he can create depth perception with his color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what I mean when I say the texture that he puts into his figure, into his line art is just mind blowing.
Well, it's not just the line art; it's the color and how it
Oh, the
plays.
color too, yeah.
I mean, not to dismiss Serpieri's work, but his black and white art is a pale version of himself compared to when he does the fully rendered coloring and watercolors and everything else he does with the painterly style here. When I see his stuff in black and white, it's I don't want to say wannabe Mobius because it's still him, but it's more of a more flat feel to it to me.
See, now some of the black and white I've seen is like, I think he puts more texture into his when he knows it's going to be black and white. I think he does more and puts more texture into it as opposed to
it could be
his colored stuff.
It could be what I'm seeing then, what we've both seen. You'll have to show me what you're talking about, because I could easily be wrong on that, because he is one of the best. And so, yeah, I mean, the depth perception on this is just amazing. Just in the line art. But I just love this stuff. And then here's Enrique Brecca and Vasselli, which is a different style altogether, but it's just really just painterly and gorgeous looking stuff.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and he's got more of an open style, but that leaves lots of room for beautiful color work.
Yeah. Now you see the smoke going through here, and they're sitting there in the going through their what's the word I'm trying to think of? Spirit walk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In the sweat room. Doesn't it look like there's like the shape underneath the smoke here? Like there's a monster with a big arm coming to swipe at them.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and it's like, and then you see the bird, and you see the different shapes, the snake, and everything. It's like, this is really the snake and the bird. Yeah, it's like really cool symbolism and graphics. And I really just, you kind of want to read and see where this goes,
Yep.
This is R.M. Guerra. And this has a kind of Chaykin feel to it.
Yeah, a little bit. I can see that.
It looks just really sharp. Oh, I love that silhouette. The shading of the tree into the ground, into the figure. That's really nice. Again, more silhouettes and shading effects. I mean, you don't see this in American comics.
No, and the use of negative space and just, it's really beautiful. These are true masters.
Yeah. And this is why, people ask me, why I show these kind of comics on the channel instead of talking about Marvel and DC, because we want people to see the larger scope of what comics art is. And this is not to dismiss what Marvel and DC people do or anything. It's just, imagine what would happen if they applied some of this stuff back into superhero comics.
Right.
There's such a I don't know if it's a limited level of palette of style, or if it's just the people who grew up in Sparrow Comics haven't explored the rest of the comic book scene, so they haven't got exposed to that stuff, so it hasn't become part of their lexicon. It hasn't become part of their visual dynamic yet.
Right.
I think
right.
a lot of people like myself, when I started in comics 30 years ago, I knew a little bit of indie, but I didn't know that much. It took me a while to really get into the indie scene, and even now, 33 years into the game, I'm constantly discovering things I didn't see or hadn't heard of before, and that's why I find so fascinating. So, I think that's what we need to have more of. Now let's. I'm going to go back to that in just a moment. I want to see. There's 400. Okay, here. Let's go back here real quick here. There's 400 individually numbered limited edition of the 6 graphic novels. Individual numbering on the slipcase, you get all $14 off the list price. So $70. Shipping in November 2025. So this is already produced. This is my Christmas. Yeah, right. Oh, geez. 10 times is 420. Well, figure that out. You're going to be charging like $80 for the set. You're paying 420 times 10, or divided by 10. That's $42. Yeah, that's about right. 40% discount plus, and of course, if you're doing a shipping, they say it's 50% off list price, and it isn't. It isn't. Need to show proof of being a retailer. What they mean is they want your business license. Basically,
right.
Your business license, and there's only 10 of those, and only 3 people have backed this. Does that tell you, how much American people just don't?
Yeah, they don't get it.
This is just wow. And this in a way feels more American.
It does, because it's a blockier style, in my opinion. But still, they know, like, these guys know exactly how much detail to put in and what needs to be left out. They're using their negative spaces, and they're using their shapes to block out the pages. And
this actually feels like Graham Nolan.
It's just really nice.
And when I say that, I'm not saying it negatively when I say Graham Nolan, because Graham is a good artist in his own right. But I just see something of that, like almost like if Chuck and Graham had done this as a text on their own instead of Chuck working with the other artist there that he was working with, and it was this, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Love the hatch work in this. Love the way they did the silhouettes again and the blackness for the tree. Just a lot of really cool stuff here. Final mission. Oh, look at the color there. People will say, well, that's just so bland, but it's not. It's very realism. The way they got your light source coming over the hills behind the building, and they're walking out of shadow into the last light of the day.
It leads your eye like it's supposed to.
Yeah. And there's levels of brightness in the dirt that go with the buildings. The buildings are casting shadow. I don't know if you can see that or not.
I can a little bit.
Yeah. Love the way they're doing nightfall, twilight sky in the background on that page. Still pretty consistent to it. Could have done a little bit more darker with like they did up here, down and consistently more, I think. But unless it was more day, unless it's night going into day, but it looks to me like it's more of a sun down rather than a sun up. I could be wrong though, but just really good stuff. I don't care for this bang bang lettering right here. It looks a little bit too like
hard to read.
Yeah, it's hard to read. Plus, it just feels like it's an add-on, tack on from a different layer of graphic rather than something that organically fills the space with the art itself.
Right.
So I'm not really fond of that. This over here, these bangs actually feel a little bit more, but I would actually highlight them a little bit outside.
Right.
Just my opinion, but it's not. It just feels like it's again an overlay almost over the art. So, but other than that, like this, see, this looks more like it fits the art. And you've got white versus the black versus I was like this that fits more. Okay. Tiselli's, look at that. That's full watercolor.
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous. Not many people still out there doing full watercolor like this.
Yeah. Yeah, just wonderful stuff. So again, we're 4 for 4 here, right?
Right.
And they got stretch goals. You're going to get a fine art Giggly. If you get 25,000, you get 2 of them, 2 fine art prints. So I mean, and these are the same guys who already presented Zagor, Tex, Alviar, Mayor, Dino, Batalia's Inspector Coke trilogy, Dragonero, and others from previous Kickstarter. So this is a group that you can mostly rely on, I think. So I'm digging this. So that's 4 for 4 here. How about you? 4 for
Absolutely. 4? Yeah. 100%.
You got to be buying a bunch of PDFs, huh? Yeah. I mean, I almost want to, if I had the money, I would buy like multiples of all of these and give my extras to the libraries. Because especially now in the Trumpian era of our government, the libraries don't have the budgets to pay for these great books. And, what can we do to like?
Well, they deserve to be in a library, and like Indiana Jones, it belongs in a library.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. So I'm really just digging this. Okay. We got to refresh this one.
Oh, and it said it was giving out. It was you could get a Geekly. You want to explain to the people who don't know what that is?
Okay. Basically, it's a high quality print using specialized ink printers with archival inks. If you care for it correctly, the print will last over 100 years.
Yes.
In other words, this is not something that's going to generally fade. I mean, it will fade if you just put it out in the sun like any other print will, but it's printed to a level of quality that if you get it framed with UV glass and other things, or you take care of it properly, where it's not going to get a whole lot of UV light on it, it will last probably, your kids or even your grandkids' lifetime.
Yeah. Yep. It's an amazing print. And I read somewhere that's Geeklies can also have the artist actually have painted on the prints, on some of the prints too, for like a higher price and a better quality.
Yes and no. I mean, this is an inkjet type printing. It was originally created on in the late 1980s. But it's usually used by galleries and print shops for, like, when you go to the museums and you get your prints of the
Right.
of masterworks. Those are usually Geeklies.
Okay.
So, and it was adopted. That term, was 1990 or 91. So it's been around about 30 years. But
The first time I ever heard that term was Alex Ross was doing them for his work. So
yeah, well, if you remember Nash Editions, the William Graham Nash, the American musician, from Crosby, Stills and Nash, when they were doing the posters for the album covers and the tour posters and stuff, that was the guy who started this was the guy who was working for him to make those. And basically they modified a large format, high resolution pre-press proofing inkjet printer, so that the paper would receive the ink while it's attached to a rotating drum. So it would differentiate prints from regular commercial prints,
right.
and use as proofs in the commercial printing industry. And your proofs are usually of a higher quality than the mass printing.
Right.
So just so people who aren't familiar with printing, that's why when we make books, we ask for print proofs before we go to mass printing. Part of the reason we do that is because we want to make sure that the mass print is going to match what we're going to do on a regular full print.
Right.
And when you do this, depending on what printers you use and what your print runs are, you have to know the longer your print run is, and the inks and what your setup for your printer is, the faster you run to what is called a red shift, where everything shifts to that weird darker color. And you'll see that a lot in digital comics, or probably not digital comics, but comics that are colored digitally. You'll see that a lot faster because they're not always calibrated to the printer.
Right.
And that's what the Geekly is supposed to be like give you your formal print, just so that your printer knows what the commercial is supposed to look like.
Right.
But still on a lesser scale, but at least you know what it's supposed to look like. And that's part of what we do with the Geeklies as well. So hopefully I'm making sense.
Yes, you are. Absolutely. Thank you for the information.
Okay. Yeah, so I would say that like I said, it's mostly Making sure you have an archival level quality. It just has to be produced on stuff like, not like this Epson right here. It's a little better, higher grade quality than this Epson, but I could actually do Gickleys on this if I wanted to. I just have to get a different type of ink to use in the printer.
Okay.
You're still using CMYK, which is why you have to make sure your files are calibrated certain ways, because, as you know, as a computer colorist yourself, many colorists don't color in CMYK.
No, they don't. They do not. They use RGB because they want to use the tricks,
right?
And all the filters and stuff. Yeah,
all the filters. That's right. And when they use RGB, what happens is that doesn't work for print. That works for screen. So we have to shift it over to the CMYK for archival levels. And this is what typically causes the redshift, because the RGB doesn't have the fourth and fifth layers. It only has 3 layers.
It doesn't have the flat K, which is black.
Right. Not just that. There is color processes to take additional color cartridges to get your more gradients, smoother gradients from the light to the dark and the very light grays. And you can have up to 12 or 15 different ink levels on a top level model printers, which include orange and green and violet, as well as your CMYK in the whole transition. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah. So, this is what we tend to do with when you have the high end Gickleys. They're using machines that have those kind of level of additional cartridges in the printer.
Yeah. Okay? Well beyond your typical home printer.
Right. That's why I would. Thank you for asking about Gickleys. I know I just gave like a 15-minute sermon out.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
But I hope that that was informational anyway. Oh, Lord.
That's good information to know. So,
yeah. So where were we? We were on text, right?
We're past text. We're moving on to the next book.
Oh, well, no, I want, we were still talking about text though for the Gickleys, right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I shared this right. Because again, you're getting all that stuff with them on the stretch goals. So let's go ahead and get to the stretch goals. There we go. Yeah, you would get an 8.5 at 18,000 and 25,000 for their backer numbers. And where are they at right now? They're at 16,000. So they're pretty much right at the cusp. Another 50 people, maybe 200 backers would get them to the 18,000 easy.
I think they can get there.
Yeah. So I think they'll have them in there. So, okay, let's go ahead and go on to the next one. Like you say, I just got to find it. There we go. This is the Family Graves. Ice Cream Spectacular. This is a 30-page notebook. Hey, someone who actually tells you how many pages you get.
Right.
Hey, that's cool. This is sci-fi monster adventure. That's Monsters meets the Fantastic Four, or if you prefer, it's the Perhapanauts. It's the, Cryptid League. It's all the things that we cover on the regular on this show.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like
Creature Commandos.
Yeah. It's not like this is the most unique thing, but let's check it out. It's by Tim Bach, fully completed 30-page one-shot story. So you're getting the whole thing there. He wants to say it's Monsters meets the Fantastic Four. Okay, fine. Spooky sci-fi adventure starring a mixed-up family of monsters: a werewolf dad, a Medusa mom, a teen siren, a fish boy, and an adorable baby zombie. We're the only ones with the mad science to save us all from the terror of the brain apocalypse. Okay, so how does a werewolf and a Medusa get along?
And produce a siren and a
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fish boy.
yeah. It's like this is a found. It's a found family. That's what it is.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yes, for fans of The Incredibles, The Universal Monsters, Hellboy, Lost in Space, Burrow Team Books, etc. Again, the book is done. They're going to give you a 7-page preview in a few minutes.
I do like the art.
Yeah. This originally arrived in the world from Source Point Press. They did 4 issues, which are still available at fine comic art shops near you or online. But they're also part of this campaign. This was supposed to be an annual, something to bridge the gap between first and second miniseries. It's a standalone tale, so you don't have to read the other 4 issues. This is one that you can get on your own. Here are the covers. Fish boy eating a brain cone. I don't know. Medusa with a giant
pool snake.
Well, no, it's the pool noodle.
Pool noodles, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Now that's a cool cover.
That is. I love that retro look. Yeah, that's fantastic.
But here's your 7-page preview. Nom nom nom. I've never heard of werewolf. Apparently, her gaze only works like laser beams or something. I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see what this is. Because I've never heard of this one before. Have you heard of this book before?
No, I have not.
Okay.
But this is some high quality work.
Yeah. He ate his ice cream and got brain freeze. So he got a brain freeze and everybody else got it too.
Must have psychic powers.
Yes, he does. This is hilarious. And she's wearing this weird hairnet over her snakes. Hairdo. So that's
I was wondering if that was what was going on. I can't read it. It's too blurry for me, but
yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is cool. I don't know how they got to got the powers and different things because they're so different from each other. But okay. Digital, you can get the digital download plus the issues 1-4. That's 120 pages of PDF. You can get those plus 2 Gargoyle by Moonlight. It's 170 pages. You've got 2 different digital packs you can get. In print, you can get Destroy All Monsters, which is all 3 covers of this book. The print catch-up, which gives you cover A, and print copies of 1 through 4. You can get B cover or C cover. Okay, no, you can get A or B, no C. All right, that's fair. Okay, yeah, all right. And of course, there's extras. So you can get books signatured or signed, rather, not signatured. So yeah, what do they want here? $40 for 5 issues for 120. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not against this.
No, not at all.
The main problem is you'd have to buy, if you want that really cool cover. That's a retro variant cover, limited to 500 copies. You got to buy, and you better hurry because there's only 2 left.
That makes sense because that's a cool cover. So
yeah, so that's why the other 2 are just more open, but that's okay. I'm down with that. Yeah, I'm cool with this. And you can get a character of one of the characters choice comic backing board by the artist Brian Atkins as well. So, and I'll also give you a script critique or a mentorship meeting. All right, or a portfolio review.
well, that's cool.
Yep. So I got some pretty cool stuff here. I'm thinking I gotta make up my mind here because I'm probably, let's see. Which cover do you like better, A or B? A is the one where he's got the ice cream cone that looks like a brain.
Right.
And B cover is the one with the pool noodle.
I like the A cover myself.
Okay. You like that cover?
Yeah.
Better than this cover.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, I like the brain ice cream.
All right. All right. Interesting. Alrighty. I'm thinking where is it? Did I miss it? That's digital one screen. That's the featured one. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's a possibility for me. I'm not entirely sold. Are you entirely sold on this one?
I rather like this one. I love the art. Cool idea. Like it's been done before, but I like to see how they do this different. So, yeah.
All right. Let's go on to the next one then. Let me find it here. Chrome Roses Cyberpunk Trilogy. And as you can see, it just jumped up some money.
Yes, it did.
From the goal of 5,372, kind of an odd number. They're over almost at 10,500 with 198 backers and 2 weeks to go. Let's see what the video says. And if you didn't understand that, those Marvel books you saw were some of the books he's worked on for Marvel in the past.
Right.
He's already done one book. This is the second book that's being marketed, and you can get the first book as part of your campaign. He is a little bit behind because his mother had a really bad health crisis. So he's a little bit behind, but it will get done. As you can see, it's more of a black and white with some spot colors. Rather than a full color book, which is an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of cool with that.
Yeah, as long as it's done well. I love black and white.
Yeah, this is actually hand drawn on paper using ink, pens, and an airbrush. So apparently, what you see for the smoke here is airbrush and not digital. I don't know. There's probably some digital touch-ups as well, but
right.
But we'll see. He's shipping the books both from inside the U.S. and the U.K. to keep shipping costs down. No extra charges. So you got that. He's trying to do new ideas. It's illegal to speak to anyone you don't know in the future without first making an online business appointment. So basically, all human interactions have been monetized. You get paid to interact with anybody. That's actually kind of a cool thing. And then aren't we kind of sort of in that, getting to that mode as it is?
Yeah, we're on our way. That's for sure.
There's husks, which are an invisible skin everyone wears from birth to protect your society from deadly viruses. They also emit enhanced feelings and sensations that are more intense and popular than real emotions. That means natural human experience has been lost, leading to a sense of longing and alienation, and no human has legally touched one another or felt the air on their skin for decades. Isn't that interesting?
Yep.
Sex is digitally digitally enhanced through apps and husks, which organize your relationships. The only perverts are those who are desperate freaks trying to touch each other, who fall in love naturally using real emotions, flesh on flesh. Such skin freaks are hunted down like dangerous vermin. This is an interesting concepts,
Yeah, it is.
Is instant and interactive via social media, leading to sudden, brutal, or mischievous changes in the rules and conventions across the society. Technology is near new biotech, and yet also with 80s style gadgets, cables, and consoles. Okay, this is interesting, right?
It is. Yeah, it's a good concept. I love that.
And he's gotten some support from different creators like Nicholas Scott, Rob Williams, Luke Ross, Martin Simmons, etc. Cool, And like I said, Monty's a pretty cool guy. If you've read Death Sentence, you check out that one and get a copy of that in the campaign. He's also written Hulk and X-Men for Marvel. He's written for 2000 AD, Delport and Titan. So it's this, and this is his 7th Kickstarter. So lots of stuff here. And he's mostly writing, and he's hiring these other artists to come do stuff. So, awesome, right?
Fantastic.
And I know you're not a science fiction guy.
Yeah, but this is still a cool concept. I am not a science fiction guy because it tends to be very wordy.
Right. But yeah, I mean, this is really cool. And these are all drawn on A3 pages. So for those who don't know, that's like comic book page size. It's a little bit bigger than 11-page size. It's 11 and a half by 16 and a half. Whereas normal comic pages have a 10 by 15 drawing area with a by 17 print size, but the print area that we draw on is usually 10 by 15. And usually A3 paper, they draw all the way to the edge. So at least most comics people I've seen who draw at A3 size, they pretty much draw to the edges. So it's a little bit bigger than standard comic size. Yeah, I'm liking this. What does he want? $10 for book 2. That's a digital version. Print is about $22 for. You get art prints with it as well. And I'm looking for the one that, okay, early Coin Roses, get the early bird deal. That's okay. You get your first edition of books 1 and 2, and then you get your art prints from artist Tango and Alex Cipriano. So, okay. That's probably the one I'll get, which is about $43 when you when you convert the money over to pounds. So anyway, yeah, I'm interested in that possibly. And you would probably want to get the digital story so far.
That's what I would go with.
Because that gives you your death sentence as well.
Right.
And I would probably go buy death sentence through back issues. If I wanted to. So lots of cool stuff there. Again, very successful, very popular stuff. Okay, we have gone through how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, I believe.
6, 7. We've gone through 7 so far.
Okay.
So let's go with the next one, Cthulhu. Oh, it's Cthulhu. He loves Cthulhu. Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales, Grim Fates. It's a 170-page original graphic novel. And you get your normal fairy tales colliding with Cthulhu cosmic horror.
Apparently everybody else loves Cthulhu as well.
Yes. This has 71 hours to go, so not quite 3 days. Almost 22,500. They had an original goal of 10,000 or 15,000. Was it 15? It was 15,000 goal. This is by Travis Gibb, and Travis has done quite a few things. He's done Granite State Punk. Hold on a second. It's not letting me do it. There we go. Granite State Punk, Buddha Nations, and Cthulhu Invade. So there's a little bit more stuff there. But, okay. 50 digital backers, or every 50 backers marked unlocks 1 free digital comic. You get the Drumsticks of Doom for 50 backers and Mortal Coil for 100 backers. Sync. Remember Sync? I think we've talked about Sync.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Upheaval, Abyssal, Albion, The Fog Within. So you can get quite a bit of stuff. And those are the ones that have already been backed. So we got 452 backers. So we got to wait to see what the 450 backers book is that he's releasing, right?
8.
But okay, you get your $12 digital. You get 3 covers to choose from. The standard edition, which looks, kind of like a cutesy thing going on there, right?
I like a little cutesy though sometimes.
It's the 3 little pigs and the gingerbread man and Mr. Frog.
Right.
In the background, and the poor woman is a sleeping beauty there in a glass chamber there, in her glass coffin. And then you get this one, which is Jack and the Beanstalk type influenced, with the werewolf climbing up after him, and it looks like Bleeze from the Green Lantern Corps, but it's not. But anyway, you can get both versions 1 and 2, because this is the second volume. You can get the first 2 volumes on digital for $22. The cover is $29. You know, you're getting 170 pages. Let's see. Artists: Matt Hardy, Jordi Perez, Travis Gibb, Walter Osley, which is Metal Shark Bro, which we've talked about. Kurt Belker, which is Always Punch Nazis. Emmett Barhart from the You Know What show. Dan Schmidt, Jerome Gagnon, Daniel Torres, Rory Calcaterra, or Calcaterra, Lee Newman, Joel Rodriguez, not Joel, it's Joel.
Joel.
No, you
don't take my comics just because you can.
Oof. Someone take him to karaoke night on his own. That way, yeah. Don't see it, do it, and then you go over bottles of karaoke show. Anyway, just a whole lot of people here. But you know, maybe people that are not necessarily the most well known. But if you're in the indie scene, you've probably seen these people more than you think.
If you're in the indie scene, you know these people.
So, and of course, these creators have worked for all these different publishers. Image, Red 5, Scout Comics, Marcosia, Mad Cave, Caliber, etc. So, you know, it's not like you're getting complete nobodies.
Right.
The cover B is 35, which is a little bit better cover than the cover A, in my opinion. But, you know, it is what it is. There's just quite a few things here. So, I don't know. What are you thinking overall?
I think it's a really cool book. And, hey, everything's better with boobs and Cthulhu. So, if you want to throw either one in, somewhere where you don't normally see them, I'm good with that.
Yeah. I don't know about you sometimes, Chris.
I am not wrong, though.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder, would you say these things if John were here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
just to get a rise out of him.
If you could. Actually, you would be worse because you would be trying to get a rise out of John. That's true. For those who might not know who we're talking about our third co-host who's off on theater work as musical director. So, yeah, he's doing quite a bit of stuff here. But anyway, the prices I think are a little bit steep, but they're not horrible. Lots of cool stuff to get. So, you know, there's going to be 3 volumes basically, and this is volume 1 and 2 that you're going to pick up. So, it just depends on what you want.
Yep.
Alrighty, so there's that one. Now we have another one. I have to come on. We got so many things to share. Where is it? Show me. Translunar. This has got 9 days to go. It's not quite at its $5,000 goal, so we really appreciate if you back it. It's got 104 backers with $4,200, a little bit over $140,200 go. And this is a science fiction comic book where AI bans advanced technology and rules the planet from the moon.
Translunar is a science fiction story set in the American South 18 years after artificial intelligence gains independence, resettles on the moon, and bans semiconductors on Earth. This is not a traditional existential crisis, dystopian future story. This is not man versus machine. This is a story of man after machine, when our tools decide that they no longer want to be around us. My main character, Dot, is a scavenger living in this future world. While gathering junk in a landfill, she encounters a rare relic, a smartphone. Now she knows this is contraband technology, but she decides to repair it and try to use it to catch an AI sentry drone that's rumored to be traveling over her region at night. I am a Brooklyn-based filmmaker and a writer. I've made several feature-length documentaries. I've written and produced a feature film. I've made lots of short films, and I've run a production company here in Brooklyn for about 15 years. For the past year, I've been collaborating with an incredible team to bring this story to life. I'm working with artist Magenta King. He's a Brazilian comic book artist that I've admired for years, and he brought an incredible, tactile, gritty, original treatment to the work.
When I started to draw this book, I really tried to get more like ink on paper feeling to the lines. And for this, I really wanted some kind of spirit that the paper has and not the digital tools have.
I'm working with colorist Veronica Berta, another Brazilian artist who has brought incredible texture and lushness to the world. I'm also collaborating with Yuko Shimizu and Paul Pope, two incredible titans of comics and illustration who are creating variant covers specifically for this Kickstarter campaign.
Usually when we talk about AI, we think about robots and something like that, but being an artist and seeing a lot of people that work with art being replaced by AI is something that is more urgent, is more close to us than we expect. I think it's super important to have this touch in this book and really get the art done super like handmade, because we need to bring back this idea of humans making art.
Translunar is 100% complete. I know a lot of projects come to Kickstarter to raise money to do the work, but we've done the work. The story's been written, the art's been drawn, it's been colored and lettered, it is ready to go. We are in a position now where we're asking for support to print the book. If you're interested in the story, if you like us as a team, if you think the same thing we're saying has value, then please support the project by purchasing a copy.
Now, you know, it's at 85% of its goal. For those who don't remember Magenta King, Jenny Zero on from Dark Horse, or Huge Detective, which we've reviewed in this past year here.
Yes.
That's Magenta's work.
Okay, very cool.
So that's one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, we got to talk about this one, because this is, you know, someone we've liked in the past and should be well received, I think, from fans of the show. Again, you know, they try to capture the AI drone and then find out, book one is 42 pages of sequential art with 10 pages of concept art. So you get the 52 pages story with 100-pound paper, which is a good level of weight, 110-pound soft cover with satin finish. Sounds reasonable to me. Again, you get the original cover art by Magenta King, and then you have the variant covers by Paul Pope and Yukio Shimizu. For those who don't know who those guys are, look up Godzilla, the official pop-up book for Shimizu, or the Catman of Aleppo. And of course, Paul Pope is THB, Battling Boy, Batman Year 100, stuff like that. So it's not like it's that hard to find someone on that. Let's see what they want. Digital is $7.
The screen's not showing.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
There you go. I said I hadn't got over there. There's your digital, and you'll get it within a week of this campaign completing. So they're estimating it by the end of the month. Physical tier, probably September delivery, which is fast turnaround. Even if I would say they probably wouldn't get out until October, unless their printer is just so like balls to the walls. Here you go.
It could be.
Yeah. It just, I don't know who they're using for their printer, so it's a little bit. I think they're a little rushed on the promised date on the estimated delivery on that, even with the book being ready and to go to the printer. Just because it takes a little bit of time to turn around, then get the book shipped to you, and then get them packaged and start getting them out to your audience. But if they can get to if they mean the end of September, maybe. But I'm thinking maybe early to mid-October. Does that sound more reasonable to you?
Yeah, that does.
Okay. But $18 still worth it. You get your Paul Pope for $23. You get your Yuko Shimizu cover. Of course, they don't actually show those covers, which I wish they did because I think they should. But okay, $55 for all 3 covers. All right. Get your retailer bundle, and that's your options. I would throw a few more options in there. But that's just my opinion. And then there's some more of the covers. And these are more. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. No. Anyway, you can see the magenta styling in here from what we've seen of him before. But the coloring, I don't know if I think he has different colors on this, and it's a little more watercolor than what we're used to seeing. Or do you think this? Or do you think it's similar to the Huge Detective coloring?
No, this is definitely, I think, watercolor.
Yeah.
Looks like it. The art's not my style. It's not. This is obviously a very professionally made, well put together comic. Just not my thing.
Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, cool. So I'm pretty. I don't know yet. I'm probably going to get the just a regular physical tier, but we'll see. How much time do I have to make up? 9 days. I got time. All right. We got here's one for you to think about. Hold on a second. My computer's wanting to do something here. Okay, there we go. Let's see. How about that one? Go ahead and read that one.
Vampires on Mars, number 1 through 4. Sci-fi and dark comedy collide in space. A vampire battles a vapid billionaire, volatile astronauts, and chaotic humans to complete her 300-year-old quest to step foot on Mars. Sounds cool. Love the art.
5,876 out of a pledged $5,000 goal. 17 days to go, so we know it's going to be backed. It's already fulfilled. Let's see what they got to say.
Hey, I'm George O'Connor, and Vampires on Mars is back with our 4th and final issue, and this time not everybody's going to make it out alive. Vampires on Mars mixes sci-fi, horror, and dark humor to explore the question, how much of your humanity would you have to tell? Holds a 300-year-old vampire. She battles a vapid billionaire, volatile astronauts, and chaotic humans in her quest to reach the right planet. Bringing this issue to life is a fantastic team of artists and collaborators. Illustrator and co-creator Fernando Pinto, Ringo-nominated colorist Ellie Wright, Ringo-nominated letterer Justin Birch, and editor extraordinaire James Emmett. Together, we're blending the over-the-top vibe and humor of Chew with the claustrophobic chase of aliens. And somehow, I got my favorite astronomer and science writer, Phil Plait, to do an interview with me talking about sending vampires into space. Each issue of the series features a part of that interview, and in this issue, we talk about what's got him excited about space and science right now, and he answers the ultimate question, would he become a vampire? During this campaign, you'll be able to pick up 2 Kickstarter exclusive variant covers from phenomenal artists Nikolai Villager and DC artist Serge Acuna. These will only be available through the campaign, and they're fantastic. And if you like your comics heavy, all 3 are available as metal covers. If you want to grab some digital vampires, you can choose our standard PDF of Vampires on Mars #4, or the deluxe edition that also includes my script, Fernando's layouts and inks, and Ellie's colors. It's perfect for all you process junkies out there. On the physical side, you can pick up a collectible soft enamel pin, dive into my back catalog, and check out some of the other books I've worked on and co-created. And if you're looking for a super exclusive reward, Fernando will memorialize you or someone of your choosing in all your glory as a vampire on Mars. You'll also find an extensive add-on menu so you can customize your rewards, add extra copies of the book, pins, and graphic novels to shape your perfect rewards package. And if you're new to the Vampires on Mars series, we made it super simple to catch up on all the bloody sci-fi fun. Years ago, I told my friends I'd become a vampire if that meant I'd be around when we landed on Mars. And here we are today with a series I can't wait for you to read, created with some of the most wonderfully talented people I've ever had the chance to collaborate with. So, if you've ever wondered how far you'd go to get that thing you really wanted, if you like a good existential question wrapped around some sci-fi and horror, jump on board Vampires on Mars #4.
I'm down with that. How about you?
Yeah, that's really cool.
And physical catch up is $40 for 4 issues. That's not bad. Of course, your PDFs are there. The PDF is $20. So makes sense. Physical copy of just number 4 is $20. The Villager cover is $25, and the Acuna cover is $25. You can get the pin or not pins. I don't care about the pin. What am I going to do with the pin? I got so many pins from other people just sending them to me because they're a reward that you get if they get to a certain, backer monetary goal. That I'm like, what am I going to do with these things?
You could put the pin on your epaulette.
Well, what it is, like, if this was coming out, all those pins 30 years ago, I would have a jean jacket with pins all over the damn thing.
Right.
Because that was the cool thing 30 years ago. But today,
Right.
I'm 53, a 53-year-old guy in a jean jacket with a bunch of weirdo pins on it. I don't know. People, I get enough weird looks at me as it is. But anyway, lots of different metal covers and all caught up, and 125 vampire. Yeah, it's not bad. Pretty wild stuff. All the floppy covers, all the catalog, everything that he has to offer is $140. That would be for everything in the guy's back catalog: Healed Baby, Great Zombies in History, Silent Night, Toddler Apocalypse, Charlie Spot, and Vampires on Mars. For 100.
Very cool.
And I don't know if that's a physical or not. Is that physical? Or is it? I don't know. I guess it's the physical. Dang, that's a lot of stuff. Let's look at some of these pages, though. Nothing like walking right into the person's chest, right?
I can get behind that artwork.
Yeah. Now they killed that one. Or did they? Right?
Right.
You didn't leave the steak in. And you didn't put the dust, right? So, I mean, yeah, pretty wild covers. But yeah. I'm liking this cover myself. The one
I love that cover, yeah.
Just kind of floating around with blood globulates all throughout the ship there.
Yeah, it's a little
this cover I'm not digging so much.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
That covers a little Event Horizon, which I love.
Yeah. All right. The metal covers without the logos. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here. And of course, you get the interview with Phil. Wrote for Bill Nye and other things. And, you know, he's a pretty cool guy. So, you know. Cute little graphic there. But, yeah, I mean, should be pretty cool stuff. You can even get back issues of Pathbreaking covers if you want. So, a bit. So you say you're digging this one?
Yeah, I do. I do dig this one. Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. So we got. Let's see. I'm just making sure we get them all tonight because I think we got one more and then we're done for the night. Yes, one more. And you can read this one.
All right, we got Evie and the Helsings, Volume 1 Deluxe cover. Evie Van Helsing just wants to rock, but she has to kill some vampires first. Collect the acclaimed first story arc. This is $6,281 of a $10,000 goal, with 105 backers and 15 days to go. So,
yeah, about 62% done. Not a whole lot there on the video. Steve Bryant, we've had him on the show. He's the creator of Athena Voltaire. He's also the writer and creator of The Catch, which we promoted and reviewed that book quite a while ago, but it's still there. He's also working for Dark Horse, IW Broom, Ape, and others, and we've got I've been joined by the Midnight Monster again.
Joey says, so the vampires travel to Mars?
Yeah. That's the first one. Yeah, the vampires to Mars.
It's like, if you ever wonder what the comic book's about, well, there you go.
Yeah. But this one is a little bit different. This is a book that had originally been printed. If you like Something's Killing the Children, Supernatural, Buffy, or Hellboy, or you like Eddie Munson and Stranger Things, this is kind of the thing. Or you found yourself bobbing your head to the music during Peacemaker. So I guess that might be your thing. Page count gets increased to 140 pages, 84 pages at 11,000. They'll add a bookmark. They'll do all sorts of other stuff. So your goals. Um, you already got your 100 backers. So you got a book PDF. Here's some of the artwork.
Not bad.
No,
Not bad at all.
as far as I know, this originally came out already in print elsewhere. I'm just trying to find more information on it, and they're not really doing that. Get your add-ons. Yeah. As you can see, there's a lot of classic homages from the last issues.
Yeah, very nice.
So, there's your budget. Shipping costs $2,500. Printing goes $5,200. Kickstarter fee $1,000. Under merch $500. In case I need stuff, $800. At least he's breaking it down for you and telling you what it's where the money's going. Right?
Yep, that's actually really good. Nice that he does that.
Oh, did you see this? No, you can't. Are you cold? Or has it just been a long night for you and you're like, I want to be on a TV too. I want to be on TV too. I do. Huh?
Hey, midnight.
Hey, buddy. Too much. Yeah. Okay.
He's
Anyway.
a good boy.
Yeah. Steve, who's a writer, Keith Bryant, he's done a lot of stuff. Like I said, we've had him on the show before and promoted his stuff before. The artist and cover artist, John Carnitas, he did the horror series Spend the Night. Do you remember that one?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, you've seen his work in anthologies like Housebound, The Nightmare, This Nightmare Kills Fascists, and the creator-owned graphic novel Pax of the Low Country. So there's that. Jason Millay is the colorist. He's worked for DC, Dark Horse, Image, Scholastic, Disney, HBO, Amazon, etc.
Everybody, basically.
Yeah. So he worked, the editors worked with Steve before. They worked together on Athena Voltaire and Ghoul Scouts for Action Lab and other places. So, and he's also done editing for film and shows for promos for Archer and The Simpsons and other stuff.
Very cool.
So you got a good quality roster of people. Okay, now campaign cutoff. This campaign will close after 1 year from completion of the shipping. In other words, what they're saying is if you don't complete your survey by 1 year post the shipping date, you will forfeit your rewards and the pledge will be considered a donation.
Okay. That's
Which
fair
is
enough.
fair. If your email is invalid, our survey cannot reach you, or you have forgot that you donated, we cannot be held responsible. Please make sure your email is accurate and up to date when you donate. Thank you for understanding. Okay, that's fair, because there are a lot of people who change their emails on their accounts, or they move and they don't update their address, and then, hey, you never sent me my book I paid for. So I understand why that phrase is in there. I thought there was a few other things going on, but okay, that makes sense. Okay. I don't need a key around my neck. Are you? All right. But yeah, I'm thinking, it's not bad.
No, not at all.
$40 for 184 or 200 page book, not bad at all. That's a hardcover. So if you get is there a soft cover available? Let me look. That's sketches. That's a sketches. Okay. I don't know. I can't really tell. And Monster here is not letting me.
He wants attention.
Yeah. This is basically a hardcover graphic. But, okay. Yeah, this is deluxe hardcover that they're marketing, which means they'll probably market again for the soft cover later too, if you think the hardcover's a little too expensive. But that's up to you guys. 15 days to go, 105 backers. You're about 63% there. So I'm trying to remember. There was one of these books. I can't remember which one it was that was running through Dark Horse already. And for whatever reason, Dark Horse isn't continuing it. And that's why they're kickstarting it on their own. But I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was this one or it didn't look like it was this one. So I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But we'll talk about that another time. So did I pick a good list this week, you think?
Yes, I think that was a very, very good list.
Okay. I think I'll probably get 7 or 8 of those myself out of the 11 that we covered. And, maybe 9. I don't know. But, my goodness. What's the matter, baby? You guys are here. You can't hear him. Look, something bothering him. No, but it's okay. Yeah, you're okay. Probably big his claws in me. Let's see what. Hold on a second. We got an update here on something. I don't understand what you're talking about here. Well, why are you talking to me about some disturbance in the Atlantic that is up by New York? How is that going to affect me down here in South Carolina? It could, let's see. No, the other one's not going to hit me either. Let's see about disturbance number 3. What are you going to talk about disturbance number 3? We got to see what disturbance number 3 is. Show me.
Disturbance in the force?
These are hurricanes that they're all worried about hitting the States. We get all this rain, though, so I guess it does affect us.
It does, yeah. We've had some nasty thunderstorms as of late.
So anyway, yeah, that was a good list. And again, for those who are coming in late, my unboxing was Metal Hurlant number 2. So we got that, and I need to review this and number 1 next week for review weeks. That's part of what we'll review next week. I think we'll actually have quite a bit of stuff to review next week. But as it is, speaking of things to review, we have to get the right pages. Where is it? There we go. All right. Next week's campaigns we're going to talk about next week. And it's not going to share a course. How would we do that, right?
Right.
We're going to talk about Andy J. Clark's Flux, Volume 2, Star Wars Lovers by Mickey Brewster. My Neighbor, the Necromancer, number 3. Gabriel Cushing and the Curse of the Clockwork Werewolves, The Unknown Road. Where Monsters, Dead End. That's the one. That's the one that Dark Horse was publishing that they've canceled and aren't publishing anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that next week. Maybe I can even get Ryan Starks or Kowalski to come on. And then there's Singularity and more. So we'll see you on the Tuesday show with those books. Tomorrow.
Very cool.
Now, Thursday, we're reviewing Guardians of the Last Dragon, Bug Wars, Murder Podcast, The Cold Open, number 1, Blood and Thunder. I think it's number 3 or number 4. Did you get your Fashion School serial killer book yet?
Not yet.
Okay. How about Slasher's Apprentice?
Not yet, but they will be coming. So
okay. We got Gotham by Gaslight, League for Justice number 2, Eerie number 2, Heavy Metal number 2. We're going to be talking about Lady Mechanica and Cthulhu Jr. and House of Fear from the Free Comic Book Day collections from the past that I sent to Chris to read as well. So we got lots of stuff on Thursday. And on Friday coming up this week, we are going to be reviewing the film Kirby at War from U.S. Soldier to Comic Artist. So quite a bit of stuff going on. And Chris keeps getting lots of phone calls. lots
of message dings, yes.
Yeah. So we should let him go. So we're going to say quickly, you liked your videos and you want to get back in touch with me, Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, at Twitter X, at LewisBrightRaven2. You can find more of my artwork at DeviantArt.com/BrightRaven. You can find more of Chris's color work at DeviantArt.com/FatBoy73. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis BrightRaven exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, recommendations for books or films you'd like us to review, Quoth the Raven, LBR72 at gmail.com is the place to reach out to me. If I don't get back to you, try LewisBrightRaven at yahoo.com. And on Saturday, what are you doing this weekend, Chris?
This Saturday, we have a pre-recorded show because David is going to be out of town. But we have a fantastic artist, and he's doing some Kickstarter campaigns actually right now.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see, it is Carlos Granda. Sorry, I had to look up the name. I couldn't remember, but very, very nice guy. Amazing art, and has worked for a lot of different publishers, and just some good, some really, really good stuff to show.
Carlos Granda.
Granda.
Okay. Yes.
Carlos Granda. Yes.
All right. That'll be on Glass House Throwing Stones on the Glass House Graphics YouTube channel.
Yes, sir. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, and we'll give you a link to that tomorrow on Friday during our movie night. So don't be shy. Be on that time as well. And so we'll see you next time. And thank you for watching. And check the descriptions for all the links, all the campaigns, because we had so many of them. I just forgot to make posts to the links for the graphics. I apologize for that.
Thank you, Joey.
Yeah.
Never more.
See you next time, folks. Have a good one.